If your tank water heater's over 8 years old, you may be sitting on a ticking time bomb. It could start leaking without warning, causing far more damage than the loss of the heater itself. Consider replacing it with a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to leak, endless hot water for spa-like comfort, longer life, and backed by Navien's strong warranty. Before time runs out, visit tanklessmadesimple.com for the name of your Navien contractor.
Count on Navien.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. There's a 10-year-old episode of The Office where they learn CPR by singing Stayin' Alive. And, of course, it turns into a complete disaster. But this is 21-year-old dude in Tucson actually remembered the episode, remembered that scene last Wednesday, which helped him save somebody's life.
How old is he?
He is 21.
Damn.
Yeah.
So he obviously wasn't watching that show at 11.
No.
He must have been watching like the syndicated or the reruns of it.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's on Netflix.
See, I need to watch it. That's one of those shows where people beat me up for never watching. I've never seen an episode of The Office.
I beat you up, but there are shows that I have like that, or movies that I have like that. I hope it's something that still would appeal to somebody today. Though, I mean, if you like Steve Carell, his character on The Office is just such he's such an idiot, and it's a Steve Carell idiot.
Yeah.
That's why I think you'd probably dig it. And a lot of guys we love, like from The Hangover, the dentist, I forget his name, but Ed Helms' character, he was on The Office as we saw him there first. He showed up, I think, maybe mid-run of that show.
Yep.
A lot of great people.
No, I mean, everyone I remember we've talked about it before, and people have texted and saying it still holds the test of time. So it's one of those shows I need to get around to watching.
Well, you got Netflix now, buddy.
Thankfully.
And this one episode actually did help this 21-year-old save an unconscious woman in her car. He broke the window with a rock, did CPR to the beat of Stayin' Alive, because that's what it was all about on the episode. And eventually, he did that for a minute. She took a breath. Then she threw up. I didn't know that happens.
Oh, that's hot.
Okay. Paramedics showed up a few minutes later, and they said, yeah, dude, you saved this woman's life. And here's the scene from The Office where Michael Scott, which is, of course, Carell's character, is being taught to perform CPR on a mannequin.
Okay, well, a good trick is to pump to the tune of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. Do you know that song?
Yes, I do. I love that song. First I was afraid, I was petrified.
No, it's... staying alive,
okay.
staying alive.
Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive.
You can't tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Words it loud, women warm, been kicked around since I was born. Well, it's alright, it's okay. You can't look the other way.
Staying alive.
Okay, you didn't maintain 100 beats per minute, and the ambulance didn't arrive because nobody called 911. So you lost them.
Well, you know what, though? They did a great job, though, with that version.
Yeah, I'm looking at this story about this Cross Scott, the kid that did that. Apparently, the woman was slumped over a steering wheel. Her lips were blue, and he just reacted. He broke a back window, opened her door, crawled on top of her, and had no training to do CPR. He says, I never prepared for CPR in my life. I had no idea what I was doing.
Isn't that something?
And it worked.
Wow. I always see those CPR things they have. I don't know if they have them at SeaTac, but they have them at John Wayne Airport where it'll teach you. Just go, hey, come over here and just learn how to do CPR, like a little machine that'll teach you. And I'm like, I should go over there and do that sometime, but I'm always in a hurry.
This guy's a rock star.
But he had no experience, so I just got to remember Staying Alive.
Yep. There's a few other ones that also work.
Yeah, is it Bohemian Rhapsody?
No.
No, it's not that?
No, I remember it was like a list. Obviously, Staying Alive is the perfect one for it because the name of the song is hilarious that it goes along with it, too.
Hot for Teacher, does that work?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's Hot for Teacher, yeah.
That's a good one.
I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh, I think it was this one.
Hey, sing it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's Dominic the Donkey.
Did we even play this at Christmas time this year?
No, I don't think
we did.
We're getting it in. We were a little.
I was very surprised, actually, to like Steve. I mean, to troll. He didn't troll it at the appropriate time. I would have had to have tolerated it then.
I'm treating the song like a Christmas card from my parents. It takes a few weeks before you get it.
Oh, perfect.
Past Christmas.
Isn't that funny how that always is, by the way?
Another one is I Will Survive.
That's it.
Yeah.
I will survive. I don't
And
know
apparently Hanson's Mbop works as well.
Really?
Dancing Queen.
Yep.
I would mess up the rhythm to bop because I think I'd try and do it more to the cadence of the vocals as opposed to the actual beats per minute.
Yeah.
To be like bop doop 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 doop.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I'm dead.
Geez, yeah.
That
That's
would be
over.
good.
It's over.
The guy's dead.
I'm throwing up in your face before he died, though.
I wouldn't blame you.
Ooh, Hips Don't Lie by Shakira.
Oh, okay.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah,
you
that
can't
one.
do that.
No, I'm just saying it works.
That would be funny to do. You
As
wake
you're
up.
singing it.
You're waking up, throwing up, going, really?
How about Spirit in the Sky?
Yeah.
Yep.
Another one. But, oh, he's dead.
Oh, he did.
He did.
Oh, he did.
Girls just
Yeah.
want to have fun. Cyndi Lauper, BJ.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. I love Cindy.
Girls, they wanna. Yeah. They want.
See, I don't have rhythm, Steve. You, of course, you know all about
See,
rhythm.
I want Steve to save me. He's a drummer.
I don't
keep
know how
time.
to-
It
Wait,
depends
Steve.
on the show. Sometimes I'm going a little too fast. I might kill you.
All right.
There's Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner.
Ooh. All right. So there's a lot of genres to save somebody's life.
Yeah.
So it's Imperial March. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, that's going to be mine. I find your lack of breath disturbing. I like it. We're doing it.
You know, another show I just got a rash of crap for not seeing. I was watching the Royal Rumble with a bunch of dudes from the 3-2-1 battle last night, and I mentioned that someone said something, and I'm like, I don't get it. And they're like, Parks and Rec. No idea what you're talking about. Apparently, that's another show I need to get on.
Yeah, a lot of people love that
A
one.
lot of people love it, but it didn't have the success The Office had.
No,
I mean,
did
it
not.
got really big success though too. But The Office is pretty much untouchable. But you cannot say that Parks and Rec was not a big hit.
Yeah, they kept telling me like the first two seasons, first one's okay, second one gets better, but my buddy Pitfalls Jones, he's like, seasons 3 through 5, they just kind of found the pocket, and it's some of the best television you'll ever see.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I enjoyed Parks and Rec, and of course that's where we got Chris Pratt and Amy Poehler is fantastic in that. And
Is that
Nick
with Tracy
Offerman.
Morgan? Is he in that? No, it's 30 Rock.
Yeah, it's
30
30
Rock.
Rock.
See, I don't know what shows are what.
Yeah, Parks and Rec's a fun show.
Okay.
No doubt about it. It's a fun show, it's sort of like, well, now you know what? I don't have a fair comparison. It's like it wasn't the best show, but it was a really, really good show.
Yeah, Rob Lowe's in it, and he's actually really funny.
Oh, Rob Lowe I love Rob Lowe. He when he plays that kind of character, he played in Parks and Rec. He's just so good. Yeah, and you get to see a heavy Chris. If you've never seen heavy Chris Pratt, I mean, you'll be so surprised that
I
he's
like
Star-Lord.
heavy. It's like I think we all aspire to be his side.
Right.
No, dude, he was big.
He was fat.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah, he was fat.
How
in
big?
Parks. Well, you got to see a picture of him, dude.
He was chunky.
Dude, the transformation. That's why I say Anna Faris hanging with him when he was Parks and Rec. Chris Pratt is pretty amazing.
Okay, yeah, he's a little thicker.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Look at him. I mean, he's a big boy there.
Oh, okay, now she's showing me a full body shot.
Yeah.
He's husky.
Yeah.
And then you see the shots of him in Guardians of the Galaxy with like the full 6-pack abs, and you're like, how does that even happen?
I know, dude. It's insane. It's even much more of a transition than before when Matt got fat on Always Sunny and then got ripped for the latest season. It's even more crazy than that. And that was crazy when Matt got fat.
What's the show that people give you the most crap for not seeing?
The Wire.
The Wire.
I've heard that a lot.
Dude, I'm with you, and I know I need to get past a few episodes, and I will fall in love with it. I just listened to a podcast the other day where they were like, "You gotta get past the first few episodes, but The Wire is the greatest television show ever created." The Ted Smith will always tell you how it's the greatest show. I tried watching an episode, and I was just like, not feeling this.
Yeah, I will say that about Breaking Bad. The first episode of Breaking Bad, really, when I watched it, was like, I don't really care about this show. But it gets moving. But at least it's only a couple of episodes. When people go, you got to get through the first couple seasons, you're like, dude, that's a big commitment.
There is a dip in Breaking Bad, but it's after the first season. I think it's either season 2 or season 3 where you're just like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I know this is going to get better. I guess I got to power through this.
And you binged it, too.
I did.
Yeah.
It took like a couple weeks to finish it. Or maybe even less than that. Like a week and a couple days.
Yeah.
What about you, Vicky?
Everyone gets mad at me for not watching How I Met Your Mother.
Oh.
That is that is the perfect show for you.
Right. And it
Ted
just,
Mosby is Ross.
ugh, I hate Ross.
Oh, and you'll hate Ted Mosby, too, when you're on the show. At first, you'll love him, just like Ross, and then eventually you'll grow to hate him.
But Steve is right. It does. If you like Friends, this was basically that decade's version of Friends.
And I liked it better than Friends.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
My thing was, I think too many episodes and seasons had already come out by the time everyone was talking to me about it, and I was just like,
Vicky's got an issue. Her issue. She's got a completion OCD thing. She can't jump in the middle of anything. Even if you tell her, don't worry, you don't. It doesn't. It's not a problem. Just do it. She won't do it.
See, we started liking it because it was on syndication, so we would just watch it randomly.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally we're like, let's go on Netflix and watch it all. It was very difficult because we saw so many of the episodes through syndication that it was just like, I don't know if we've seen this one. Maybe? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
What about you, Danny?
Everything. I don't watch a lot of TV shows.
Rev, what about you?
Yeah.
The Punisher. Everyone's like saying, oh, it's a great series. I don't care about the show. I just don't want to watch it. It's a lot of those Netflix Marvel shows. Like, I don't care about Iron Fist, but most people don't care about
nobody likes
that one
Iron
either.
Fist.
Exactly.
Punisher's actually great. You would love it.
I'm sure I would. And then, no, I don't want to watch it. Like, I just don't have a desire to watch
funny
it.
Because someone just texted, I just started watching The Punisher on Netflix, and I finished both seasons by Sunday evening. I started Friday night.
Oh, damn.
I don't think he slept.
No.
I will tell you, though, if you're a person that likes like any kind of sci-fi, fantasy, zombie, superhero, The Punisher was always like, who cares? He's just a regular guy. Even
Pretty much.
Back in the comic book days, I wasn't a big Punisher fan. I was like, dude, I mean, I got used to seeing the Fantastic Four. This is just a guy with a machine gun that
The Punisher rocked.
Well, I mean, for a comic book, didn't do anything for me. The series, and even the movies were like, although Thomas Jane was okay, but...
What about Dolph Lundgren?
No, dude.
Where is justice?
Dolph Lundgren
is punishment.
I can't deal with Dolph Lundgren. He's just Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren is great.
To me, he's a poor man's Arnold.
Oh, you better shut your mouth.
He really is. He's a poor man's
He
Arnold.
is not a poor man's Arnold.
Yes, he is.
He's Dolph Lundgren's Dolph Lundgren.
I know that he's your, if it dies, it dies.
It's Ivan Drago, man.
I know.
Schwarzenegger couldn't be Drago.
Oh, now, you know what? Shut your mouth. He was the Terminator.
So he says, I know Steve doesn't like period shows, but please check out Vikings on the History Channel. It's effing fantastic. Period shows, LOL.
I have heard about that. I've heard that Vikings is a great show. It's another thing where it's like, I don't really have an interest in the world of Vikings, but everyone says it's a good show.
I need to watch it because my man, Edge from the WWE days, Adam Copeland, he's one of the stars on that show.
Oh, nice.
He always shares his stories about going to Ireland to go film the seasons of Vikings.
God, they're so hot. Like, the guys and the girls, everyone on that show is so freaking sexy.
Okay, I need a little more than that, though, to really
Hot
commit to a
chicks
show.
Kicking ass.
Yeah, I do. I need a little bit more than that. I like a story.
I did think of one. Because,
all right,
Danny.
Danny. Again, he doesn't watch anything, but here's the one that he really should be watching.
Well, because I'm from New Mexico, everyone gets mad at me for never seeing Breaking Bad and not wanting to see it. They're like, that's the first question that everyone asks me first, I know. But you must watch Breaking Bad. No, I've never seen it, and I have no interest in watching it.
Yeah, it was sort of like in the radio business. It's like, oh, do you know Frasier? I used to get that a lot when Frasier was on television. Mm-hmm. And then when I went to do radio in Seattle, that's all I ever heard because that's, of course, where Frasier's show was located. Right. And so I could appreciate Danny like, no, I don't have to watch a show just because they based it where I'm from.
But it's awesome. It's the best show
true.
ever created.
It's good. But, Steve, I would say the same to you about The Punisher. If you really like Breaking Bad, The Punisher is amazing.
I've seen a couple episodes of The Punisher. It was great.
And then
I kept forgetting to watch it.
Yeah.
It's not a show your wife's going to like at all.
That was the problem.
Yeah. I know.
I have enough shows that I have on my queue for things I watch when my wife's not around, i.e. wrestling.
I mean, yeah, you're done. You're all wrestling all the time.
Anything that's not wrestling related is something that I watch with my wife.
Yeah.
And I will say I got through season 2 of The Punisher, and it is fantastic.
Yeah, I've watched 6 episodes. I've liked them all. I really liked them all, which is really unusual for a Marvel Netflix series. Usually you go...
second season, at least.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's just like, they could have left this out. They could have left that out. So far this season, I'm like, all right, you know what? They've been decent episodes.
One texture's on my side. BJ, don't be knocking Dolph like that. The man played He-Man, for the love of God.
Yeah. I don't know.
Masters of the Universe.
Yeah,
Masters of the Universe. Awesome movie.
That was I don't know if it was a great movie, but...
It was great if you're a kid and you want to see He-Man as a human being.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I understand you guys will have a love for it. Like I've said before, when you're a little kid and you love something that they bring to the screen,
right?
It's really hard not to love it unless they destroy it. Like for me, though, they have with Fantastic Four. But otherwise,
speaking of old movies, going back to that, I watched Mortal Kombat this weekend. Just because, it does not hold up.
You don't like the first Mortal Kombat?
No, man.
Really? The second one is a pile, but the first one... It's still fun for me.
Rose-colored kid glasses when it comes down to it. It's the fight scenes were terrible.
Wow. I still have to go back and check it out. I will agree. Johnny Cage versus Goro was lame. I'll give you that.
I don't know. It's kind of neat when he punched him in the nuts.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, for the time... I still have a soft spot for Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 2 is a pile. Oh, God. I try to watch.
Sequels that are worse.
I just love Christopher Lambert going, I don't think so. I mean, there's just so much to love about that movie. And the dude that played Johnny Cage was really good.
Fatality.
I really thought...
You're having member berries there, buddy.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. One of the biggest mysteries has just been answered. And that is an airplane capable of handling everyone farting on the plane. Can that be something that can be tolerated? That mystery has been solved. One airline has given us an answer. I'll tell you what they said at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. There was a rather odd Twitter exchange between DJ Rancan and who's a corporate DJ and an event planner. So DJ Rancan and Delta Airlines had this really bizarre conversation where DJ asked the official Twitter account of Delta, said, hey, where do all the farts go on airplanes? Please tell me there's a fart filter for the air somewhere.
Well, Mr. Rancan, let's tell you about our fart filter.
I do love the social media customer service person because the Delta person did provide a very thorough answer for the question, saying, quote, these systems actually gradually allow the air to seep out of the cabin while bringing fresh air back in. So do we have a fart filter? Not really. We just allow the airplane to fart the human farts out of the aircraft.
Whoa, fartception.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the aircrafts are equipped with air scrubbers that replenish the oxygen for breathing as they return air to the cabin.
Well, sometimes it doesn't seep out quick enough because sometimes, usually the older the person you sit next to, I mean, I'm getting to be that guy myself as far as age goes, but man.
You're a flight farter?
No, it's not so much.
I am.
I'm just an old person. I don't know if you saw the South Park episode where they had to go to the old person's home. It was sort of like a mob situation.
Oh, yeah. And the old granny is just walking around going,
yeah, she's just destroying the place.
Is that you?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get to be that age.
Oh, man, I want to be that age.
I'm still able to control myself because I realize I don't want to make anybody like their world go. I'll hit the bathroom and do my best to basically just clear everything out. But there is a scientific reason because I've often said to myself, it's like, why is it I'm always gassy on the plane? I don't understand this. Turns out science says that actually cabin pressurization is the reason why. It makes our guts get bigger. Like we the air in our belly gets expands.
Yeah, wow. Looking it up online. Wow.
So mental note, I have to say that to my wife whenever she gives me a tough time about farting on the plane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, you get extra fartsy when you go above 30,000 feet.
I always like it when someone's next to me is asleep. That, to me, I feel like, okay, all bets are off.
Yeah.
I'm farting out all I want. And if someone looks at my row funny, I'll just be like, this guy, he's been sleeping and farting the whole time.
See, you think it's the side. Actually, the person behind you is the one that gets destroyed a lot. Because,
that's true. It's seeping out from the seat.
Oh, dude. And I got bumped up to first class. I thought it was just going to be the greatest thing ever. And then, of course, it was Oldie McGee and Mrs. Oldie McGee. And my God, dude, it was like a rotten egg factory. It was the worst seat in the place. It was just, I even saw some of the flight attendants coming by and making it look like, you could tell that look you get when
the
you go,
surprised look of like, what is that?
What did I just walk into? But they still have to be pleasant.
I've seen that a lot.
Oh, those poor women.
We got a text. Air scrubbers are no joke. They work. Trust me. Companies use them to filter out air after black mold is removed. They will work for farts.
Nice.
Air scrubbers. See, we need to get something like that in the Revs booth.
Oh, definitely. We got to get them. Yeah.
Where would it filter to? Just into the main area? That'd be fun.
Virginia Mason up above us. That's
even
fine.
better.
Yeah.
I mean, they they're a medical facility. They know what to do with all that.
They've smelled worse.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
This is such a shock because we just know how transient jobs can be in sports. Very rarely do you ever get to see somebody stay in one job for the longest time. But I think you can understand this guy. Well, it makes sense. As yesterday was the 19th anniversary of the Patriots hiring Bill Belichick away from the New York Jets.
Damn.
And this is what I love about NFL experts. Back then, when that happened, NFL experts claimed the Patriots would, quote, regret that move. When you think how bad the Jets have been, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where they got him from. Of course, I think the Patriots said the same thing about us, and the NFL experts said the same thing about us when we got Pete Carroll. They said the same thing.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of people locally that also thought that this was a terrible hire for the Seahawks. I mean, you could always go back on so many different sports columnists and give them a hard time for things that they might have said initially. I'm sure a bunch of people panned Russell Wilson as a quarterback. It's unfair because you just don't know what someone's coaching abilities are going to be like when they go to a team.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's funny. They have like the screenshot of the newspaper article that this Ian O'Connor wrote, and its headline: "Patriots will regret hiring Belichick."
Yeah, O'Connor said Bob Kraft, the owner, his wildest gamble has nothing to do with ends and safeties and everything to do with the middle-aged mess he's hired to coach them. Wow. And it turns out middle-aged mess. No, he basically hired the GOAT of coaching. We've got a Vince Lombardi trophy for the Super Bowl because Vince Lombardi was considered one of the greatest coaches ever. And I got to be thinking I understand that no one likes cheating. I get that. But if you really know sports, if you follow it the way an average person does, I love baseball. There's so much cheating in baseball. It's not even funny. I mean, we have to have signs because of the fact that teams will try to see and cheat and see what you're doing when it comes to running the bases and what kind of pitch you're going to throw. And it was just actually in the playoffs they saw that one famous pitcher was tipping his pitchers, which is why he was getting wrecked. So there's still cheating going on because the idea is this: you're not supposed to know. Right. So cheating happens all the time. So I don't want to hear the Belichick cheating thing. It happens in every sport. Our teams are probably doing it too.
Yeah, I'd imagine that most teams are doing something to get the upper hand, but he's been caught doing a few things, maybe one too many, and people are just kind of done. Plus, you're a winning franchise. Everyone's going to hate the winning franchise if it's not your franchise.
I agree. And I used to be that kind of sports fan, and I realize I'm kind of a lame-ass sports fan if I'm just the homer and I don't appreciate greatness in other places.
Yeah, I think at some point you just got to stop being so worked up over sports, in my opinion.
Oh, I still am worked up over sports, but at least I'm not a homer.
But when some people are just being just unreasonable with it. But I think about it when I was like, granted, they weren't cheating, but they figured out a way to buck the system was the New Jersey Devils. As a hockey fan, I was a huge Devils fan back when they were awful, and then eventually they won 3 Stanley Cups for a style of defense that was... even as a fan, it was boring to watch them with the trap defense. It was just like, oh my gosh, but it was winning. It was working for those guys. So, why stop it? But some people felt that was like what the way they were doing it was killing hockey, and possibly it was. But man, when that's your favorite team and they're hoisting the Stanley Cup at the end of the season, make the games as boring as you want. I'm happy that you're winning.
You're right, Steve. The team who was the recipient of that style that they came up with that would kill the game. They say the same thing about the shift in baseball. They're saying it's killing the game, but whoever came up with that, they really benefited.
Yeah.
I don't know if a team like the Kansas City Royals wins the World Series if they don't use that kind of boring sort of, non-super score a ton of runs offense. The Royals had none of that. They just went out there and did a lot of stuff that was boring, but won them the World Series that year.
That's gotta suck for this guy. He makes this big story about how they make a big mistake and somebody digs it up from 19 years ago.
I love that.
And it's like, hey, remember that guy you said I was going to suck?
Yeah.
He's kind of turned out to be one of the most winningest coaches of all time.
Yeah, the guys, of course, got 9 Super Bowls in 19 years, winning 5 of them. Could be 6 this weekend. 30 wins in the playoffs, 10 more than any other coach in history. And the Patriots have not had a losing season since 2000. which is again you can talk about cheating, but you still have to execute. You still have to get the right people that can, even when you want to cheat, still have to be able to get it done. And because anybody can cheat. You know what I mean? If Bill Belichick
justifying cheating.
Well, I'm just saying, if Bill Belichick is cheating, other people are cheating.
So I want to know, are you cheating at your board games, BJ?
See, I don't. I don't see the point in that. Other people do.
To win. That's the point.
Dude, I don't understand that.
Don't you want to win?
I see, there's no money on the line. With a lot of this stuff, there's money on the line. See, that's why cheating happens when there's money. Like in Magic the Gathering tournaments, there's money on the line. Lots of cheating that have happened in the history of that one.
People sneaking their Warhammer into the mix?
Yes, Steve, that's exactly how that happens.
Yeah, that's actually
that's the only thing, right? There's a Warhammer in.
Yeah.
Right?
There are.
But I mean, when there's money on the line, that's where there's cheating. I don't understand people who cheat and there's nothing on the line except
they like
just
to win.
Yeah, I don't
like
get
to
that.
win, man.
I don't get that.
It's the dopamine, man.
Yeah, I feel horrible if I've accidentally cheated, because sometimes that's happened. I feel horrible at the end of the game when all of a sudden I realize, oh no, and accident, because I've ruined the whole game, because you played maybe 2 hours and you realize, well, I can't go back and undo everything I did. I do my best, but I feel horrible because who wants to win that? I guess people do, but I don't.
I think about we've been playing beer league hockey sometimes. Sometimes the refs aren't in the right spot to see if a puck went in the net or not.
Yeah.
And sometimes the pucks that go in the net, but they come out really quick because they hit the back of the post or something along those lines.
Oh.
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then after the play, when the game's over, sometimes the ref or the other team will be like, hey, man, was that a goal? I'm like, yeah, it was 100% a goal. Went in and went right back out.
Oh, that would piss me off.
They're like, but they all agree. I wouldn't have said anything either.
Yeah. I know.
We're like, excuse me, official, that was a goal. Stop the play and give them the score. Give them the point.
The only reason I wouldn't say anything is because I know the rest of my team would hate
me. Yeah,
that's
I have 11 guys that want to kill me.
Yeah, you turned into the kid saying, teacher, didn't we have a test coming up?
Right.
And you're like, you're that jerk.
You can't be that guy.
So
it's their fault for not having instant replay in beer league hockey.
I got to give this O'Connor guy, Ian O'Connor, credit, though. He actually did come out and go, dude, this was the dumbest thing I've ever said.
Well, how can he not? What's he going to say? I still stand by it. I would. That would have been funny, actually.
Yeah, I would. And he actually has said that he believes that Bill Belichick now is better than Vince Lombardi as the greatest coach of all time. And you have to. You just got to give him the nod. You have to. I know you hate to. I get it. And a lot of people think, oh, it's because you're from Massachusetts. Go, no, I got no real love for the Patriots.
Can the game end in a tie? Is that possible? The Super Bowl?
I know. I don't want the Rams to win.
I don't want to see either team win.
I really don't.
I'm really torn on this one.
If it does go to a tie and it goes to overtime, we do get free wings. So I'm with you on that.
Is that a Buffalo Wild Wing?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
Okay, now we need it to go to a tie.
Yes.
And we
had to
just
keep playing until they all pass out.
And we had the conference championships go to a tie. What are the chances that you'll have two conference championships and then the Super Bowl go to a tie and then have to go to overtime?
I'm okay with that. If we get free wings out of the deal, I'm totally in.
We're all going. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
By the way, let me just.
I don't even know if I'm going to watch the game. I really don't have any interest.
I'm not interested.
Well, I will. I mean, it's because it's a party. Everybody loves it. Yeah. And look, I am from New England, so of course it's like, all right. I know that a lot of my family will be watching, so it's like, all right. They'll be chirping on Facebook and everything. Yeah. So it's like, all right. I mean, I can do that sort of just to bring me back to memories of home. But
I got my brother in town the night before because we were going to see Kiss.
Oh,
so I really don't. I mean,
what do you care at that point?
I don't. I'm going to enjoy seeing Kiss, and then I'm hoping that my brother's plane leaves during the game, so I have a reason not to watch. I don't want to see this game, man.
Yeah, I know.
I know you have family. That's all.
I don't want to see the Rams win. I really just don't want to see the Rams win.
I hear you.
Yeah, I want to be the only team in a long time from our division to win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
No, I'd rather the Seahawks. I'd rather not an NFC West team win the Super Bowl. But I mean, it's like, do I want to see the Patriots win again? But it is kind of awesome that there's a guy that is over 40 and he's still crushing it like Tom Brady. As much as I don't like Tom Brady, that's such an insane story that guy is still at the top of his game.
And this could be the last.
Historic.
It could be the last dynasty we'll ever see, because I don't know how in the salary
We're talking
cap
about the
era.
Mariners, baby.
Oh, yeah, that dynasty, too. I forgot about that.
Dynasty of never making the playoffs.
The reverse dynasty. Because with salary cap sports, it's so difficult to have anything called a dynasty. And in Major League Baseball, it is just so difficult to even get to the World Series twice, let alone win it twice in a row. So I don't, the dynasties just are so hard to come by in sports because everybody's, it's designed to help all the other teams that didn't get there. And also with all the analytics and everything they've got, it's hard. It's really, really hard, which is why you got to look at the pages and go, look, however you've done it. Anybody else could have done it that way, and they didn't.
And someone says, I'm rooting for the Rams. The punter, Jenny Hecker, was my high school quarterback at Bothell High. Oh. That's a good reason to root for the Rams.
Yeah. I'm a little pissed at the NFL just because I feel like they're finding that dude for a helmet-to-helmet contact, the guy. And it's like, I don't think you should get fined if you didn't get a penalty called on you. If they missed everything.
That happens a lot, though. People get penalties for something that happens. Sometimes something doesn't get noticed, but when they review the tape and they see what that person did, they still have to, suffer the consequences for doing something messed up.
You can't go to the Super Bowl. Sorry, but you know what? We're going to fine that guy $20,000. Oh, I hate that. Hate that so much.
Somebody has, I'm going to Vegas for the Super Bowl. I'm not excited. I just bought a T-shirt that says I hate both teams.
So true. I know. I mean, I'm sure it happens to everybody somewhere, but boy, this is our year where we hate both teams.
Yeah, I might just watch Super Bowl 48 again.
And you're right.
Just watch the Seahawks win the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Yeah, if you're a Hawks fan, you hate both teams. I mean, I get it. It's like, there's no reason to watch the game. I totally get it.
Super Bowl's the best day to go to Disneyland or Disney World. It's the least busy day in the park.
Oh,
road trip. Gosh, Steve, seriously, you guys love that stuff.
My buddy Andy on Twitter said, screw you, Steve. I've been waiting 17 years for the Rams to get back. You can cheer for them.
Has it been that long since they lost to the Patriots?
Fine, Andy. I'll cheer for them because I like you.
Wow.
Go Rams.
Yeah, I get it. I just can't go. I can't believe that the Patriots are going to lose. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I know the Rams are a decent team, but I don't know. On Friday, Steve, he got this one wrong. What type of insect is a weevil?
A bug.
No.
Yeah.
Caterpillar.
No.
That's ant.
No.
No, Steve, we're looking for beetle. Come on, buddy.
I was making beetle impressions. I just couldn't remember what they were called.
I thought you were doing a stink bug impression, actually, is what you were doing. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
I'm Erin Ryan, political commentator, comedy writer, and host of Crooked Media's Hysteria.
And I'm co-host Alyssa Mastromonaco, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff for President Obama.
Each week on Hysteria, we are joined by a team of hilariously opinionated ladies to discuss the headlines from the serious to the absurd.
We cover everything from reproductive rights to rom-coms and break down the political news of the week and cultural stories that affect women's lives.
New episodes of Hysteria drop every Thursday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.